Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Just Know, where we take a look at different stories from life. Some suck, some have a twist, and some are unexpected. So let's get started with that first story. This one is from user ThrowArray. Where'd she go? I, 28 male, am planning on proposing to my girlfriend of 3 years, 26 female. Now, I suck at picking out jewelry. I'm the type of guy who doesn't see a problem with heart-shaped jewelry. Seriously, why is it considered so ugly? So every time I want to buy something for my girl, I usually consult one of our mutual friends. My girl's best friends are all friends with me as well, and we all get along well. So asking them for help picking out jewelry is something I'm used to. When it came time to pick out an engagement ring, I consulted my girlfriend's best friend, Justine. Justine and I are quite close and she knows my girlfriend better than anyone, including me. So when my girlfriend went out to visit her sister and baby nephew, I invited Justine over to the house to help pick out a ring. Justine and I looked through a few catalogs, but decided it was a dead end and it would be better to go to professionals at a jewelry store. However, I didn't know when my girlfriend would be coming home, so Justine and I thought of a clever text to gauge how much time we had. I asked her when she'd be coming home, as I was ordering takeout and wanted to know when to tell them to have the food ready by. She responded by saying it would be a few hours. She met up with Justine to go shopping. Now, obviously this took me by surprise since Justine was standing inside my house. I showed Justine the text and she looked as confused as I was. It isn't out of the ordinary for my girlfriend to meet up with people out of the blue like that for shopping, lunch, etc. She's a very spontaneous person and loves making plans on the fly, so ordinarily, I would have believed this text in a heartbeat. However, obviously this had to be a lie. When she came home, she acted completely normal, and I played along, but it's been really hard to act like everything's fine. We got takeout, ate together, and cuddled on the couch after. So far, she's caught on a little that something's upsetting me, but I just can't tell her what. Looking at her kills me. I don't know what to do. My girlfriend and I have zero trust issues and we tell each other everything, so this lie is killing me. I want to ask her about it so bad, but if I tell her I knew she was lying, I'd have to explain why, and I really don't want to do that. What do I do? I know she lied to me, but I don't know how to confront her about it. Should I just forget it? This won't stop gnawing at me. This is a tough situation. Just knowing right on the spot that your girlfriend or your significant other is lying. But like, no question about it. 100% lying. Where does your mind go to? What's the first thing you think is going to happen or is happening? Now, OP gave us an update, so we will know exactly what's going on. However, I want to play a little game for this story. If you're up for it, pause the video and write in the comment section what you think the girlfriend was doing. Now, there's no cash prize, but I'm gonna give a shout out in my next video to the person who gets closest to the outcome. Of course, you could cheat, but why do that? Just go take a couple of minutes, write down whatever you think the girlfriend's doing. And now, let's continue with the update. I decided to confront my girlfriend. I thought about using some of the lies people suggested, but they just wouldn't make sense. To say I ran into Justine somewhere, well, I told my girl I had to stay home and do stuff around the house, and that's why I couldn't go with her to see my sister-in-law. To say Justine was helping me pick out jewelry, it doesn't make any sense for her to come all the way to our house to help me pick out a piece of jewelry unless it was a serious piece of jewelry, like an engagement ring. If I just wanted to get her a piece of jewelry as a gift, I'd ask her friends for suggestions or ask them to send me pictures of jewelry she might like. It all happens over text. None of the excuses made sense, so I decided to be honest. I basically said that I knew we'd been thinking about marriage and she probably knew a proposal was coming soon. So I invited Justine over to help me find her the perfect ring. And that so happened to be the day that she said she was going to see her. So, what's the deal? She immediately started grinning like an idiot and prodding me about proposing and the ring. But then we got back onto the topic of where she was and she confessed what she was really doing. No, she wasn't cheating. And no, she wasn't picking out a ring for me. So, some people are dog people and some people are cat people. Well, I'm a snake person. I grew up with snakes my whole life, but I never felt I was able to get one because my girlfriend has always been uneasy about living with a snake, which I completely respected. Also, the process of buying and raising a snake is very different than that of buying and raising a dog or cat. It's quite complicated. So you could imagine my surprise when my girlfriend showed me a picture of her holding the cutest Kenyan sand boa I have ever seen. Needless to say, my girlfriend was going to surprise me with a snake. We're picking her up next week. I definitely did not expect this and I feel bad for ruining the surprise. But oh well, life is good. Sorry if this isn't the ending you guys wanted or expected, just a snake. And there you go, it was a snake. How many of you thought she was cheating or something sneaky like that? I totally get it, I thought she was cheating as well until I read the update. So as promised, I'm gonna go through the comments, and tomorrow on my video, I'm going to give a shout out to the person who got closest to the result. Alright, now let's move on to the next story. This one's from user BF Daughter Trouble. I, 47 female, have been dating my boyfriend, 52 male, for 2 years. We met in a grief counseling group after losing our spouses. Everything in this relationship has been great. Our kids get along great. I even got a Mother's Day card from his son thanking me for making his dad smile again. It was sweet. My daughter, 19 female, adores my boyfriend. I was surprised how fast they hit it off because she's very shy, but I didn't want to question it, so I let it go. But as time went on, things got weird. On Valentine's Day, he got me a bouquet and a rose for her, and she still has it hanging in her room. She gets up early every morning to make him a latte, and every night when he gets home, she's waiting in the kitchen with a beer and a sandwich for him. He has back problems, so she bought him a computer chair with massaging rollers on it, which upset me of course because I'm a masseuse. I can take care of this man's back just fine. I refuse to be replaced by an effing chair. I asked my daughter why she keeps doing this stuff, and she said she just likes him. I asked why to see if I could get more info, and she started listing things. He's nice, smart, funny, blah blah blah. But what stuck out the most was when she said she loves the way he dresses. My boyfriend is a funeral director, so he always wears black suits. When I first started dating him, my daughter would always call him sharp-dressed man, saying things like, "Are you gonna go see that sharp-dressed man again? When do I get to meet your new sharp-dressed man, Mom?" My daughter always says she wants to marry a man in a suit, so I assumed this was her way of showing approval. But now I'm starting to wonder if there's more. I've been wanting to suggest that he stop wearing suits outside work, but he loves his suits. We just bought a house together and I know he's been looking at rings. This man is a chess champion who speaks 6 languages, yet doesn't know how to close his laptop when going to the bathroom, lol. So I'm invested in this relationship. I love this man and I want to marry him, but I'm afraid if I tell him what's on my mind, he'll kick my daughter out. This all came to head last night when we were watching a movie and she went up to get drinks. When she came back, she handed my boyfriend his beer and then tried to sit on his lap. I say tried because my boyfriend pushed her off and angrily told her that what she did was inappropriate. He stormed up to our bedroom and I followed him up to talk to him. He started saying that my daughter should start looking elsewhere to stay, but I told him about the suit thing and that maybe if he just wore normal clothes outside work, she wouldn't act so weird. He told me I was being ridiculous and we went to bed. I made him breakfast this morning, but he left to go eat instead. He says he's in the McDonald's parking lot now, but we're going to have a serious talk when he gets home. I don't know what to think. Well, this is a weird and awkward situation. In my opinion, and of course I am not a mental health professional, I think the daughter's going through some issues and she's really missing her dad. And I think this whole thing is kind of confusing her. I don't know if she has a thing for older men or this guy in particular, along with her thing for suits. In any case, OP was kind enough to give us an update, so now let's continue and figure out what's going on. Well, it turns out some of you were right, and there was a lot of crap I didn't know about, an entire S-show's worth in fact. My boyfriend showed me several disturbing text messages. No actual propositioning or anything, just weird stuff like, I miss you and are you awake at 2 AM, etc. And apparently my daughter had confided in him about a close friendship she had with her basketball coach right after her dad died. My boyfriend said she kept it a secret because she begged him not to tell me and he didn't want to break her trust. I, of course, was incredibly hurt to hear this, but at the same time I understand why he didn't tell me. Apparently, he is the only person she has ever talked to about this. It turns out my daughter has basically been treating my boyfriend like a private therapist for the past several months, and he didn't tell me because he wanted to help her. He chalked up all the favors to her just showing gratitude for lending an ear, and didn't realize how she might have felt differently before last night. He apologized for insisting on kicking her out, and I apologized for the stupid comments about his suits. It was a comment I made out of being in denial, and now I realize she needs therapy. When I first started grief counseling, I did ask my kids if they wanted counseling. They both said no, and I didn't want to force it on them. When I sat my daughter down to talk about the boundary issue, she burst into tears and started apologizing. I had an extremely uncomfortable but necessary conversation with her, and I told her that I'm going to start looking for a therapist. I didn't tell her that I know about the basketball coach because I don't want her to feel betrayed, and I'm hoping a professional will be able to get it out of her in a more sensitive and controlled manner. But so help me God, if that mother effer ever shows his face in my hometown again and she asks me why I'm in jail, I guess I'll have to tell her I know about it then. But for now, her healing from the past is my main priority, because it really does seem like her dad screwed her up far worse than I thought. My boyfriend and I have made up and no one is getting kicked out, but things are still pretty awkward. She's basically quarantined herself in the basement. For now, we all just need some space, and my boyfriend has already helped me find some good therapists in our area. Wow, OP's daughter really needs some help. I do think that when OP says that her husband screwed up her daughter, I think she means her husband's death did that. Unfortunately, the daughter couldn't confide on her mom and had this weird close relationship with the basketball coach. And now she was moving on to the boyfriend, which was worse. So it's a good thing that they're looking for a therapist now and they're gonna get this kid some help. Alright, on that note, let's move on to the final story. This one's from user Mona Lisa Saperstein. My girlfriend and I have been together since high school. We go to the same college and she basically lives with me. We live in a 4-bedroom apartment with 3 other guys. My roommates and I hang out a lot with my girlfriend, but she gets along especially well with one. We'll call him Chet. Chet is really close with my girlfriend. When I go to sleep, I go to bed really early. She goes and hangs out in his room. When I ask her about it, she tells me what good friends they are and goes into detail about how she could never even imagine his lips touching hers, that it makes her sick to think about. Part of me believes her, but part of me wonders why she goes into such detail about how repulsed she is by this idea. Recently, they got into a fight because his girlfriend doesn't like my girlfriend. This fight ended in him buying her favorite snacks and leaving them on our bed. This seems way too intimate to be just a friendship to me, but I'm afraid to flat out ask her if they're sleeping together. I don't want to ruin our relationship over them just having a nice friendship. I don't know what to do. Well, it's not an easy situation. It could be that they are just friends, but it could be that there's something going on in the background. Anyways, OP has given us 2 updates to get a full story, so let's get going with the first update. No, I didn't set up a spy cam or try to walk in on them. I chickened out, I think because I deep down didn't want to catch them in the act. Turns out, I didn't need to. I stayed quiet about it, which wasn't too hard because I was really busy with school this week anyway. Last night, my girlfriend told me we should throw a party at our apartment. I didn't really want to, but figured why the hell not? I could stand to get pretty drunk anyway. So last night we invited a ton of people over, which is not out of the ordinary for us, and my girlfriend invited her best friend. It started out as just a normal party until Chet got raging drunk and announced to everyone that he had just broken up with his girlfriend of 3 years. So I did something sort of manipulative that I'm not totally proud of. I told my girlfriend's best friend, I'll call her Kim, that she should hook up with Chet. We had all been drinking a lot, and I sort of suspected she was down for Chet anyway, and she agreed enthusiastically. Cut to Chet sitting on the couch with Kim, quite literally on top of him making out. I pointed this out to my girlfriend, telling her it would be so great if our best friends dated each other. My girlfriend lost it, like completely lost it. She started screaming and pushing Kim off of Chet, telling her she couldn't believe both of them would do that. She ended stopping the whole party because she made such a scene, and I just stood there and watched. When she finally snapped out of it and realized everyone was staring at her, I thanked her for confirming what I already knew and told her to get the F out of my house. That was last night. I'm still sort of in shock it went down like that. I went to bed right after and haven't talked to anyone about it yet this morning. I don't really know how I can look Chet in the face after this, so I haven't left my room yet. Sneaky, but effective. His girlfriend outed herself, and that was all he needed to just realize, she was into Chet. So yeah, good on you, OP. Get the F out of my apartment now. Anyways, I told you there were 2 updates, so now let's move on to the second and final update. Basically, after I kicked my girlfriend out of our party, I assumed we would all lay low for a few days. I was wrong. The day after the party, my roommate, Chet, knocked on my door and tried to talk, but I ignored him. Less than an hour later, the ex-girlfriend sends me a long text, at first apologizing, then explaining that her screwing Chet couldn't have been avoided because while I was a good boyfriend, I study and sleep too much. Okay. She then told me she would be willing to work through this if I was willing to try to be better and pay more attention to her. I didn't respond to the text. That night, I had a dinner with my parents I couldn't miss that the ex knew about. I came home to find all of her stuff taken out of my room. I figured, okay, she got the hint and moved her stuff back to her dorm. Wrong. I noticed later when Chet's door was open, she had actually moved her stuff into his room. I haven't seen either of them. I think they've just been out of the apartment to avoid me. I don't even know how to feel. Honestly, the breakup is so raw, even though we haven't even really had the chance to break up. And I'm so angry at both of them, but strangely, miss them at the same time. No, OP, no missing them. They both suck. Crappy roommate who made moves on your girlfriend, crappy girlfriend who accepted those moves and probably also made moves of herself onto your roommate. The whole situation is horrible. If it was me, I would ask them to move out, both of them. Of course, if it was only my name on the lease. If not, then I would start looking for somewhere else to go. Wish them good luck and cut them both out of my life forever. But that's just me. What about you guys? What would you guys do if you were in OP's position? And it's about that time again where it's the end of the video. So, like usually, if you did like the video, I'm gonna ask you to go ahead and click like. If you like this content and you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and click subscribe. Don't forget, there's also a Lost Genre subreddit where you can share your stories to feature in a video. And having said all that, I'll see you guys on the next video.